Hey YouTube, what's going on? We got a YouTube video today. Today I'll be discussing Medify and their YuGiOh coaching program. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the channel and like the video. All support really matters, guys. Every week we're going to drop content for you guys that's entertaining and informative, just like this one. And by doing these things, you encourage us to keep pushing out content. So let's get started with the video. YuGiOh Medify. If you guys don't know, Medify is a website that allows people to go and get coached by top players in their respective gaming communities. In order to do so, you have to apply to join their program. Once you do a thorough background check and look at your credentials, if you match what they're looking for, you will be approved. However, there's no guarantees. The only loophole behind this, however, is if you get referred by someone else in the program, right? In my personal opinion, that's the biggest red flag. Medify. I know someone in your department is watching this video. Guys, listen, you listening? Get that part out of here. You cannot have people with no credentials coaching people. You cannot have people who do not play in real life YuGiOh tournaments coaching people. No. Stop. No. Being a dueling book warrior does not make you a qualified, credentialed person to coach people. The card game itself, right? Because you guys probably don't play YuGiOh like that, so you don't know. The card game itself is a lot more than just playing the card. There's a psychological aspect to the game itself. Someone who's never played in real life events or played in less than a year or two of real life events cannot teach that. That's an invaluable resource. Me being able to read you like a book. YuGiOh is not just my deck versus your deck. It's also me versus you. Okay? A lot of times I play the person, not the actual deck, and win the duel. So with that being said, get rid of the experts with little to no YuGiOh real life experience and YuGiOh real life credentials. Just get them out of here. Get them out of here. Thank you. Now, with that being said, let's discuss the pricing. Because the pricing, from my personal experience of scrolling through all these guys' profiles and stuff like that, it's generally between the price range of $75 to $50. That's the average. Anything under that, it's probably a good deal, right? If you're charging someone $25 an hour for coaching, I think it's fair. It's fair. However, when you're teaching them, that's the big question for me, right? But anything over 25 is just juice. And juice means overpriced, if you don't know what that means, right? Now, let's talk about this juicing that's going on Medify YuGiOh, right? You have people charging people for side decking, deck lists, mentally preparing yourself for an event. Yeah, you heard me, mentally preparing people for an event. Yeah. I think the problem is with this, a lot of these guys been watching Andrew Tate. They saw Hustlers University. They thought to themselves, well, guys, Top G is gone. He's in jail. So what do we do? You know what? Let's be the Top G of YuGiOh. Let's start a university, scam some people, get some quick, fast money, and hopefully go somewhere, right? Let me tell you something, guys. If you're not a top 1% player, coaching is useless, right? Why do I say that? Simple. To really win events consistently, or just doing so periodly, right? Two things need to happen. Either you need to play a deck that requires no skill and is fundamentally unfair and sacky, or you need to be fundamentally sound, playing a good deck, and just making a limited amount of mistakes, and also having a lucky day, right? RNG, where it comes down to getting the die rolls and good matchups and stuff like that, right? I always say in YuGiOh to people, win the duels you're supposed to win and limit the amount of duels you're supposed to lose, right? And that's very simple, right? If you don't understand, the duels you're supposed to win, you win. Don't punt. 9 times out of 10, people play games they're supposed to win. They punt. They don't see it, right? But they complain about how it was an unwinnable game, when in reality it was a winnable game. You just punted, right? You didn't see the play, which is fine, right? We don't, hindsight is 2020, right? We don't always see it, but when we do see it, we realize, okay, there's room to improve on, right? Now there's duels that you're not supposed to win. There's been times I've played people, they had me on the ropes. I was supposed to lose. Guess what? They punted. I'm a good player. I took advantage. It's that simple. So with that being said, win duels you're supposed to win and limit the amount of duels you lose, right? Now, some concepts you're not going to understand unless you have the experience and the time and the knowledge to understand what's being said. A coaching session should be a dialogue, not a lecture. Coaching session should be, hey, you should have done this on this turn with these cards. When he activated that card, you're supposed to activate this card in response, or you should have held this card instead, right? If you're not a top 1% player, you're not going to understand what's going on. Like if I say, hey, you're not supposed to activate this card in this chain sequence, you're going to be like, why? Not to sit there and break it down to you of card interactions and resource management, stuff like that. If you don't understand those things, then it won't be a quick 2-minute conversation. It will be 20 or 30-minute lecture. If you're paying by the hour, right? Now, granted, let's think about it. If you're paying by the hour, it'd be more time efficient to limit the unnecessary conversations, right? And instead, try to get through the session as fast as possible with as much content in it as possible. Meaning, if you're spectating a duel or you're watching a VOD of multiple duels, I want you to talk about multiple duels within that 1 hour span of time, meaning multiple matches versus just one match, one game where you're breaking down one particular play, but me and you are arguing because I don't understand the play or I don't see what's going on there, right? It's going over my head. I don't have the information, so you have to teach me little things, right? And that's coaching. On Plus, guys, we coach each other. That was the whole premise of starting a team, a testing circle of friends who wanted to get better and improve and to take over and dominate the tournament scene. That was a concept explored, concept successful, right? So with that being said, right, if you're not a top 1% player, you're not going to follow everything being said. You're wasting your money and your time, right? Not to mention, let's be honest with you. What's the point of getting coached if you're just going to locals? What's the point of getting coached if you're just going to regionals? If you're not going to YCSs, if you're not flying out to all these events, why even pay for it? It's just unnecessary, right? Especially when information is free. You can find most of the information on YouTube. All it takes is the time and the due diligence to do your research. If you're lazy, fine, get a coach. But if you're going to get the coach, don't just get the coach to be a local warrior. That's silly. You don't need to pay these guys to beat your friends. In fact, it's even sadder if you pay these guys and you still can't beat your friends. Now, that's a bigger problem, in my opinion, right? Next point. You shouldn't be paying people for a spreadsheet for $75 an hour. In my opinion, if you're paying people for a spreadsheet, buy a Patreon. Small fee, $5 a month. $5 a month. We send you updated spreadsheets of not, for the most popular decks. Throw in a quiz. People get asked a few questions. In this scenario, which card would you activate if your opponent changed this card or that card? Silly stuff like that. Make sure your consumer base is actually learning and developing. You can't be a successful tutor if most of the people you're tutoring are failing. That doesn't add up. It doesn't add up at all. And a lot of these guys are not doing it to teach or to improve their students. They're doing it so they can make some money. Quick, fast, cash. That's it. And if MetaFi was really monitoring the situation and really cared about the situation, they would make it so that these guys don't dictate the price, but they do. I definitely think that just like in League of Legends, right, where everyone has a flat rate, same thing in YuGiOh. Flat rate. Make it affordable and make it reasonable. Do a better background check on some of these coaches because in my honest opinion, a lot of these guys shouldn't be coaching. It's that simple. And the ones who are successful, right, from my personal experience, I spoke to someone recently. They told me Chris Lofton has 10 students that topped the YCS after being coached by him. I think that guy should be the fucking face of your coaching program, because clearly he has a program that works and he's pushing people in a productive direction. So why isn't he a top expert on your page, Medify? Let's talk about that. He might be banned from YuGiOh, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's banned, right? And if he is banned, so what? He's a good coach. In my personal opinion, a lot of guys who do cheat don't get caught. So if he got caught, right, and he gets banned, but another guy that doesn't get caught and isn't banned, you mean to tell me that you're going to let the guy who does cheat repeatedly but doesn't get caught be the face or one of your faces on your platforms? Because Konami hasn't banned him yet? Because morally, that doesn't sound right to me. I'm just saying. Morally, doesn't sound right to me. Not going to drop names, but if you know, you know. Right? So, back to my original point with the Medify program and YuGiOh coaching. I personally see a lot of issues in this program. I think it's a good idea. Have coaching, make it accessible to the players. However, make the prices more affordable and reasonable. And also, make sure the coaches are actually showing results. Put more emphasis on the algorithm for the website to push coaches who have students who are actually pushing the program and actually showing results in said program. The accolades of the individual player should not be as important as the accolades of the students that are participating in their programs. That's more important in my opinion, especially if you are a person who is interested in paying for these programs. Ask to see the results of their students, not them. Because cool, I can play the game, but can I teach you? Let's think about it. I can play, I am smart, I am very knowledgeable, but am I a good tutorer? Am I a good coach? Because if I'm not, I should not be on this website. If I have zero to no experience, like legit, like less than a year of experience playing in real life YuGiOh, I should not be on this website. If I was referred by another coach who was my friend, I just want to help him out, but I should not be on this website. It's that simple. So is Medify a scam or is it legit? Tell me in the comment section. Do you think the coaches on Medify and the programs they're pushing right now are legitimate and certified and I'm just crazy? Let me know in the comment section right now. I'm here to debate anybody and anyone. If you enjoyed the video, like it. If you have done so yet, subscribe. Until next time, guys, I'm out.